So Ania, thank you so much for taking part in this interview today for Wellness TV News. I understand that you've got an extensive background as a mindset coach, and where did your passion come for that, and why is it that you feel that you want to share this message to a wider global community?
I believe that everything that we do in life is all about self-belief and confidence, and it's about surrounding yourself with the right influences and creating the right mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And my journey began many, many years ago when I was in a train crash, and I was in a carriage that concertinaed. And so for about 7 or 8 years, I wore a mask because it was much easier to hide behind a smile and not to let other people know how I felt. And what I realized is through that process, I actually lost a bit of myself. And so for me, since that moment, this was in 1991,
right.
it is all been self-belief and confidence. And you're not born with it, you have to create it. And the moment that you create that self-belief, your life changes. It takes on a completely different level. And so for me now, I do one-to-ones, I run workshops, I run expeditions, I run events, and everything is about giving you the belief that all and everything is possible.
Wow. So what was your background beforehand, before this, horrific event that occurred for you?
Well, my background used to be PR, actually, PR and event management. And
right.
I was really, really lucky that I always loved everything that I've done. And for me, moving forwards now, everything that I do is about getting other people to use their voice and to know that they make a difference in this world. And I think especially as women, whether it's at work, whether it's in a professional environment or whether it's at home, we have a role to inspire the next generation.
Right.
And again, that all comes down, you can't inspire someone if you don't believe that you're worthy yourself.
Right. So do you think... Sorry to interrupt, but do you feel that you perhaps went through this transformation that actually qualified you to help other people to find their purpose? Is that how it feels for you? This is your purpose now?
Absolutely. I think my purpose is to create a global platform for entrepreneurs. And let's face it, moving forwards, most of us are going to be entrepreneurs. The economy is changing. And
Yes.
It's all about communicating, collaborating, and connecting with confidence. And I had one moment, which I talk about in a book that I co-authored on, led me to being an NLP practitioner. And it's, for me, everything is in the power of communication, and everything is the power behind the words that we use with each other and with other people. And there was a father and a daughter on a train. He was trying to connect with her. She was just simply not interested, and she was being so rude. And I remember, and it was the old carriages where people would be standing in between the aisles, and I remember people began to feel quite uncomfortable. And I remember thinking, I'm going to have to stand up and say something, because he's now making this very, very public, humiliating him. And at that moment, the train crashed. And I was in the carriage at concertinaed, he disappeared, and to this day, I don't know if he survived. And so for me, it's very much about how we make other people feel and how we leave them. And it's not even necessarily, it's what we say, it's how we say it.
So those moments those moments leading up to that must have had a huge impact on you as well as the crash itself, about communication and how we have an impact on people.
Absolutely, Amanda. And the reality is you don't necessarily understand the impact at the time. And it's only years or through reflection, through a major transition, being pushed out of your comfort zone, that you begin to realize that everything happens in life for a reason, and you may not necessarily accept the change at that moment, but it can only grow you, and it can only take you to a better place.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe that. I mean, sometimes when we look back, we don't believe it at the time, but later on, in hindsight, we look back and realize it was good for us. So you're the founder of Women Work. Is that correct? And how did that come about? And what's the ethos behind that?
Well, for me, it's all about women inspiring the next generation. And so it's in the workplace, women at home, women looking to return to work, women who are looking to set up careers, or start new careers or set up new businesses, or women who have been out of work for a long time and are looking to return to work. So again, this is all about self-belief and confidence. And how it came about, we lost 7 friends to suicide in 11 months.
Gosh.
And it was absolutely horrendous. And I realized that a lot of people were just not reacting anymore. It was almost as if this is perfectly normal.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to create an event which would grow new networks, collaboration, which would build a stronger community, and to also show people that we all have daily challenges, and it's all about the support that we surround ourselves with, and it's all about asking for help. And I think asking for help is the hardest thing for many people to do, to take that first step. And so originally it started off as a workshop for 20-25 people, and in over 5 months we had a footfall of 1,300. It became a day and evening workshop. We had 72 workshops and 52 speakers, and the support of corporates like Marks and Spencer's, Metro Bank, Tesco's, The Range, Assembly Hall Theatre. It was fantastic, and they made that event happen. And what that showed me was that communities can work together. They can truly collaborate. So we held the event again this year, and again it was a huge success. And that's all down to the team who put this together, and to all the speakers, everyone who's involved. You can't do it on your own anymore now. You've got to actually work with others.
Yeah, and I think that's the heart of your work, isn't it? Is the collaboration and teaching about collaboration and community spirit. And that, I guess, is what's behind the expedition that you've organised for Malawi. That's coming up in October, I believe. But as I understand it, it's supposed to be the least developed country in the world. But so why in particular Malawi? What has drawn you to want to take women entrepreneurs out there to have this experience?
Well, Malawi is known as the Jewel of Africa, and a fifth of Malawi is water. So that's Lake Malawi, and it's absolutely beautiful. My husband, he is from Zimbabwe, and he has spoken about Lake Malawi for years and years and years. And for me, it was just the most obvious thing to choose. And it's a team of 14 women. It's women who want to make an impactful difference. And it's women, for me, and it's a really big difference here, Amanda, it's women of collaboration and not women of competition. Because I think that we can't be women of competition because we will never inspire anyone. No. So this is for women who want to give back, who want to also share their expertise, who want to learn from new cultures, and actually just want to leave their mark in this world. And already it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what we've achieved. And I just heard yesterday, Tara Patton, who's one of the ladies who's joining the expedition, he is also organising a film crew to come out, and so we are going to have a documentary made of the expedition as well. Fantastic. So, and we've got UK Health Radio, The Way Forward show, who's supporting us. We've obviously got yourselves. We've got Women in Business magazine who are supporting us, and it's phenomenal the amount of people who are coming forward. And as you know, I'm actually looking for sponsorship. One of the things I want to do is to raise some money in order to have some reusable sanitary pads made out in Malawi, because menstruation is the biggest cause for leave of absence from school. And it's something that we take for granted in the Western world. Yeah. And so I'm asking anyone who's listening, even £500 can make a huge difference. So I'm sure we will find a sponsor. So anyone who is listening, that would be of interest, please connect with me.
Fantastic. I've got a few people I've got in mind that would actually be very interested in this. So afterwards, I'll give you some contacts. What can you say and share with the listeners about what women should expect on this kind of trip? I mean, what is it personally? What experience do they come back with? What does Malawi do for them?
The expedition has lots of different aspects to it. So we've actually got that physical challenge, and that is climbing Mount Mulanje. Yeah. And we are all in training for that. And there's also the reward at the end of the expedition, which is keeping on Mumbo Island, which only seats 14 people. So that really is the icing on the cake. Oh. The expedition is tailor-made to everyone's strengths. So we've organised workshops, it's business coaching, we're going into an HIV centre, we've got a mental health group, a women's rights group that we're going to be visiting, we've got a visit to a street children's project, the Samaritans, we are going to be running a social media project. There's an awful lot of ways that we are going to be collaborating with women in Malawi and also learning from them. But I think the biggest thing for everyone is that we're going to be pushed out of our comfort zone in ways that we've never ever really considered. And it's going to be, I think life is incredibly fast. We are all living on a treadmill and we don't have time to hit that pause button. And Africa is absolutely beautiful. And this is an opportunity for you to hit that pause button, reflect on your business and personal goals, and decide what you truly want from life. And many people will say, I don't know what my purpose is, but that doesn't matter. It's about just connecting with yourself and deciding what is right for you and how you feel that you can make a difference. And not necessarily to the world, but to people who are very close to you. And for you to be at peace with yourself. So I think we're going to come back very, very different people.
Yes, and I guess developing that inner self, that relationship with self, and that will then further deepen the relationship with others as well. So, massive impact on people's businesses as well.
Yeah, huge, absolutely. And for me, the collaboration is absolutely key. And already I can see with a group of women that have come together, and they are a very powerful group of women, that the networking that's taking place already, it's only the beginning, and there will be new collaboration that will grow globally out of this. So it's all very, very exciting.
So if people want to get in touch with you and find out more about the expedition, because I've seen a lot of the PDF, the research and what you've been doing and how you put all this together, it's fantastic. The photographs are incredible. How do people get in touch with you?
If they send me an email, so my email address is nextstepmentor, that's mentor123@gmail.com. I have a website, and that's aniajefferies.com. And Kate Webb, who's part of Orbis Expeditions, we've actually put this together, so you can connect with us through Facebook. So I'm Ania Jefferies on Facebook, and it's Kate Webb. And let's just start the conversation.
Fantastic. So out of interest, what's next for Ania? What's next for you? Have you got anything simmering in your creative juices at the moment that you're working on for the future? And what's personally next for you, and what's next for your business?
Well, something which I absolutely love. I'm a radio presenter for UK Way Forward show, and for me, everything that I do is about giving others the opportunity to transform adversity into positivity. And we all have stories to share, but it's that moment when we share our story that we create an impact, and we also influence others in order to create positive change. So for me, it's all about inspiring the next generation. And so radio broadcasting is absolutely there, TV broadcasting as well. And it's expeditions, and it's running workshops all around self-belief and confidence. And I am already working on something for next year and for 2020. It's and for 2021. And each of my expeditions are going to be very, very different. They're not going to be the same. So it's going to be about around mental health as well, because for me, if you haven't got your mental health, you're not going to be able to be successful in your personal life and your business life. So I'll be doing things around mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, families, growing businesses for entrepreneurs. And my passion is very much young entrepreneurs. My nephew, who runs the largest coffee website in the world, he's 25. And my son, who's 22, he runs a marketing influencer agency, and he has 20 members of staff. So already, for me, it's about giving young people the support. Yeah. So just how amazing they are, because I think the millennials, they have so much negative press, and what people don't realise is that rather than being so negative, you should be building them up. You should be telling them how amazing they are, because they are going to be running those future businesses. So it's about inspiring each other, really.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it sounds as if you've got a huge amount ahead of you, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I wholeheartedly agree with you. It is about teaching people at the grassroots level, looking after the younger generations, so that we can actually make a better world. So thank you so much, Ania, and I would love myself personally to be on this expedition, maybe the next one to come. So I'm going to be closely watching where you're going with all of this, and good luck with getting some more people on board. So thank you very much indeed for giving me this lovely chance to talk to you today.